Start off with the breaking news that the Denver Broncos have officially named Teddy Bridgewater their starting quarterback this season over Drew Lock. Now, I've been looking at the fan reactions from Broncos fans about this news coming out, and a lot of Broncos fans seem to be 50-50 about the situation. Some people are okay with Teddy Bridgewater being named the starter over Drew Lock, and then you have the other 50% of Broncos fans who are split and saying that they rather prefer Drew Lock because Teddy Bridgewater plays pretty conservative. Now, I've been telling people ever since Teddy Bridgewater was initially traded from Carolina to Denver that Teddy Bridgewater most likely was going to be the starting quarterback, simply for the fact that he is the kind of quarterback that a defensive minded coach in Vic Fangio prefers. Okay, yeah, he's not going to throw a lot of passes downfield. You're not going to have a lot of big flashy plays, but he's smart with the football, doesn't turn the football over, and he's a good leader in the locker room, which is something that if you're a defensive minded coach, Vic Fangio is looking for. Meanwhile, you have Drew Lock, who kind of is heavily turnover prone. You're going to have a lot of big flashy plays downfield, but you're also going to have some plays where he may turn the football over. And when you have a defensive minded coach, all you really need is an average offense. So Bronco fans are saying, well, the offense is going to be average. It's not going to be all that great. That's what Vic Fangio wants. Now, if the offense is above average, then that's a win. But all Vic Fangio wants is an average offense. He doesn't need an offense that's putting up 30, 28 points per game. He just needs an offense that can score enough points that the defense can really take over the game and win the game for them. So for Vic Fangio, if you were to ask him right now, okay, who would he rather have on the field during the last 2 minutes to win the game, his defense or his offense, he's going to say his defense. Now, what impact will Teddy Bridgewater have on the Broncos offense? Who's going to benefit from Teddy Bridgewater being the starting quarterback? So from a fantasy football perspective, Jerry Jeudy and both Noah Fant are going to greatly benefit. Jerry Jeudy is going to be really good in the short intermediate passing game in terms of what he's going to be able to do with his route running skills and also what he can do with the ball in his hands. Same thing with Noah Fant. You're also going to see Noah Fant get a lot of targets from Teddy Bridgewater as well. Now for Courtland Sutton, who's coming back from a season-ending injury, I don't really know how that's going to work out between him and Teddy Bridgewater because Courtland Sutton is more of a great deep threat. He's somebody who you like to throw the football to when you get inside the red zone. He also can go ahead and catch those 50-50 balls. So if you're looking at this from a fantasy standpoint, Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant, their stocks definitely go up. They're greatly going to benefit from Teddy Bridgewater being the starting QB. But meanwhile, Courtland Sutton, I definitely think that him and Teddy Bridgewater, I don't really expect those two to have that great of a connection, simply to the fact that Teddy Bridgewater doesn't really push the football downfield all that much. Now, Teddy Bridgewater in third down situations isn't really all that great, and he's not great in the red zone for two reasons. One, because he doesn't have a strong arm. He doesn't have a good enough arm to fit the ball inside tight windows inside of the red zone. And secondly, he doesn't really take a lot of chances. So when you look at a QB that is extremely conservative in the red zone and on third down, they're not really going to be all that effective in those situations, simply for the fact that Teddy Bridgewater is a guy who simply prefers just to take what the defense gives him. So when you're inside the red zone, you can't really afford to be conservative. Like, you kind of have to take some risk inside of the red zone because everything is tight, everything is condensed. You don't really have a lot of windows to throw the football in. So you're pretty much taking a risk when you choose to throw the football inside the red zone. So for Teddy Bridgewater, he's not really going to be all that effective unless he chooses to use his legs. Same thing that goes for him on third down. In third down situations, he may just choose just to check the football down and see if the wide receiver can make something happen after the catch and try to get the third down that way, but he's not really going to be trying to push the football all that much. Now for Teddy, okay, he is going to win. He's not going to lose you no games, but he's not going to win you any games. So a lot of Denver Broncos fans probably want some clarification of what does that mean, because a lot of people have been saying that about Teddy Bridgewater. So basically what that means is that Teddy Bridgewater isn't going to lose you any games because he's not going to have any game-defining turnovers that's going to have a big outcome of the game. He's smart with the football. He's going to take what the defense gives him. But on top of that, he also is somebody who isn't going to win you a lot of games, because when it comes to clutch situations, like within the last 2 minutes of the game, and you need somebody to drive you downfield and score a game-winning touchdown, Teddy Bridgewater doesn't thrive in those situations. That's where people say Teddy Bridgewater isn't going to win you any games, but he's not going to lose you any games neither. He's not going to have a lot of turnovers that's going to drastically affect the outcome of the game, but he's not going to have any big plays in the clutch that's going to help win the game for you. That's when people mean when they say that. Now, the defense definitely is going to carry this team. The defense is going to be the heart and soul of this team. So if this defense is really good and Teddy Bridgewater does what he needs to do, and the Broncos offense is average, I can definitely see the Broncos making it into the playoffs. Now, I wouldn't say that they will be a lock, but I'm just saying that they do have a pretty good chance. Now, with Teddy Bridgewater being named the starting QB, that kind of shows me that Denver is looking at picking up another quarterback in the offseason of next year in 2022, rather that be in free agency. Maybe they make a trade for Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they draft a quarterback next year. But it looks like Denver isn't going to have a long-term answer at QB right now. So it looks like they're probably going to find their long-term franchise quarterback next offseason. Now, in terms of Drew Lock, okay, Drew Lock still has a chance to start if Teddy Bridgewater goes down with an injury, unfortunately, or Teddy Bridgewater doesn't play good. Then you can come in and insert in Drew Lock, and then he can have an opportunity that way. And Drew Lock definitely has improved over the offseason. He definitely is better now than what he was last year. It's just that even though sometimes you improve in life, sometimes improving just isn't enough. Sometimes you need more improvement. So Drew Lock definitely did improve. A lot of people think, well, Drew Lock did improve. Drew Lock has to improve, okay? But just because you improve doesn't mean you improved enough. Apparently, the work that he put in wasn't enough, and that's why he's not the starting quarterback for Denver right now. So for Denver, they're rolling with Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if he's a quarterback who can get the Broncos to the playoffs. Same thing with Drew Lock. I don't really know if either one of those guys are the guys to get into the playoffs. And I was just talking to my guy Juice Alert about this. Like, Denver has a playoff caliber football team, okay? Their roster is good enough to get to the playoffs. The thing is, they just don't have a quarterback who is good enough to get them to the playoffs. Now, Teddy Bridgewater does have a good supporting cast around him. You have Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, a pretty solid offensive line, and pretty good run game on top of that, which should be a top 10, top 5 defense. But at the end of the day, is Teddy Bridgewater going to be able to make the plays necessary to get Denver into the playoffs this year in the very tight division with the Las Vegas Raiders, Kansas City, and also the LA Chargers? That will be a mystery to be decided.